Well, hello, my little maniacal munchkins, and welcome back to day 4 of 31 Films of Halloween. Today, I will be discussing 1985's Return to Oz, as you can see behind me. Return to Oz stars Fairuza Balk as Dorothy Gale, and most people know her from The Craft. This film was directed by Walter Murch, who also, with the help of Gil Dennis, wrote the screenplay. Now, before anyone interjects, I know exactly what you're going to say. But Michael, Return to Oz is a kids' movie. It's the sequel to the beloved 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz. Yes, Michael, you are correct. It is billed as a kids' movie, and it is a direct sequel to the 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz. This is a horror movie, and I'm going to tell you why it's a horror movie. So let me start off with how Dorothy gets to Oz. Apparently, she's been yammering on about her previous adventures with Auntie Em and Uncle Henry so much, they decide that it is time to take matters in their own hands and send her to a clinic for electric shock therapy. Yes, this little girl going to get electric shock therapy. Fortunately, on the night this is supposed to happen, there's a horrible thunderstorm, lots of rain. She swept back to Oz, not on the skirts of a tornado, but somehow via a flood. Well, when she gets there, she finds her beloved Oz in total chaos. It's in ruins. People have been turned to stone, including her 3 friends from the original film. I mean, the yellow brick road is toe up from the flow up. It's a hot mess. Express. So, in order to find out what happens, Dorothy goes on this journey. And she encounters some creatures called the Wheelers. And the Wheelers are nightmare fuel. The Wheelers have these really abnormally long limbs, and they have wheels attached to where their hands and feet used to be. They also have these garish, ghoulish painted masks on their heads. And when they move around, it sounds like nails on a chalkboard. I mean, they are frightening, and they're also really vicious creatures as well. I mean, they take delight in scaring the crap out of Dorothy. So, Dorothy finds out that the Gnome King is actually responsible for this ruin and devastation of Oz and the Emerald City. But she has to go and find Princess Mombi. Well, Princess Mombi was the really frightening part for me. Princess Mombi has all these disembodied heads. I mean, there's like this long hallway of heads in these glass cabinets in her lady cave place. And she changes them out. I don't know why she changes them out. Maybe she needs one for some fancy cocktail party, or she's got relatives coming over. Who knows? But when she first meets Dorothy, she pops her head off, holds it at her side, and it's like speaking to her before she changes it out for another head. There's another moment later in the film when Dorothy is trying to get this bag of stuff called the Powder of Life, and it's inside one of these cabinets, and so she's trying to get the powder, and one of the heads wakes up. And it starts moaning, and so the other ones all wake up, and they start moaning, "Dorothy Gale," loud enough to wake up Princess Mombi, who sits straight up in bed with no head attached to her body. This scene gave me nightmares for days. I mean, it was traumatizing. There are some other characters in this film. There's another one named Jack Pumpkinhead, who is this being made out of like logs, and he has this giant pumpkin jack-o'-lantern head attached to him, which somehow comes off of his body at some point towards the end of the film. There's also this mounted moose head creature called a gump that gets tied to this antique sofa with these palm fronds, and somehow Dorothy and her friends escape on this creature thing. And then there's the Gnome King. I mean, this movie is scary as... I mean, I was 9 years old when my father took me to see this film. So if you are a Gen Xer and you got to see this movie when you were a kid, you know exactly what I am talking about. I mean, I got notes. I came somewhat prepared. With that being said, however, it's a pretty good movie. I say I would give it about 4 Jack Pumpkinheads out of 5. So yeah, don't show it to your kids right away, because I mean it's rated PG, but back in the day it should have probably been a good solid PG-13 in my opinion. But hey, nobody asked me. I was like 9. So until next time, click your heels together 3 times and watch out for disembodied lady heads. Ooh.